or pastries or sugars makes you feel tired and lethargic, or gives you some, gut pain or something like that, do try to avoid those things while you recover, so that you're really maximizing your body's response to being able to heal. Okay. Good. The other thing that I wanted to mention that you can do at home as well, and I have this on my YouTube channel, so if you're forgetting what I say and can't review the video and need another reference, my YouTube channel, NaturopathicallyFit, has a lot of these concepts in practice so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. But the one is contrast showers. And I think I might have talked about this in earlier times. And people were always like, oh, that doesn't sound too appetizing. I don't think I want to do that. But really, it does make a huge, huge difference. And if you'll recall, the contrast showers is when you go from hot or warm to cold or cool water when you're having a shower. So the ratio is a 3-to-1 ratio. That's what's been, the most touted over time. So if you're having, most people are not having a 16-minute shower because you don't want your hydro bill or your water bill to be astronomical. But if you do 1 minute hot, 20 seconds cold, and alternate that for 4 cycles, then you're still getting the same benefits as if you did 3 minutes and 1 minute cold. So the reason I say ease into it is so that you don't completely hate it, right, at first, and also because your body will get acclimatized to it, and then you will eventually be able to go from quite hot to very cold and be able to tolerate that. And we are getting into that cooler weather now, so not only is it great for immune boosting, and the reason for that is because you're basically creating a huge pump. Your whole body is, bringing all the blood flow to the surface and then pushing it all in, and you're basically making your body into a pump to get all of that blood flow and all those good healing properties around the body. But you're also acclimatizing yourself to extreme heat and extreme cold. Most people are bothered by the cold in the winter, and this is a great way to actually get yourself used to it. So when you're all cozy in bed and then you have to come out of the covers in the morning.
I think that is me.
Yeah, so that it makes those things a lot more comfortable, let's say. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I know I haven't convinced you. I know it, but it is definitely very useful. And we had to do all this stuff. Like anything that I recommend, I've tried it at least once.
At least once.
At least once. This I've tried multiple times, not just once. I can tell you that for sure. And as I say, as the winter goes on, it does become very important. Yeah. Okay, good. So we've talked about all that good stuff. Now, everyone always wants to know what they should take, like what vitamins they need to take, what minerals they should focus on. Unfortunately, naturopaths have some red tape, and the red tape being that I can't talk about any supplement companies, nor can I talk about dosing. Dosing means how much you should take of a certain thing. And so essentially, I guess my top 3 vitamins would be, for immune function, would be vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Those are the top 3. Now, you can overdose on all 3 of those. Okay, so that's why I can't really talk about dosing, because every person is different of how much of those they need. The one thing that I would say is that if you are trying to self-dose, if you're taking zinc, make sure you eat a solid meal with that. And the reason for that is because zinc is a mineral, and it will feel like you ate rocks if you don't have food with it. So just be mindful of that. It's not something that you just down the hatchet first thing in the morning. Definitely not. You will feel sick. So just be cautious with that. Vitamin C, if you do overdose on it, it's considered a water-soluble vitamin. So generally what people might feel maybe a little nauseous, but generally you'll get loose stools, essentially, if you have too much of it. And when you are feeling like you're coming down with something, your body can actually tolerate a lot more vitamin C than you would just on a daily basis. Like certain people will just take vitamin C every day, just for maintenance kind of thing. And then when they start to feel a little bit like they're coming down with something, they take more, and your body can actually tolerate that. And the reason for that is because all of your systems are working overtime to make sure that either you get over whatever it is that you're feeling, or the duration of illness is a bit less. Now, vitamin D, I think we talked about in episodes earlier on, and just the importance of it. And that one, you can actually overdose on that one. Vitamin D falls under the fat-soluble vitamins, which means that it's stored in the body, which means that you can actually overdose on it. Now, the overdose symptoms are pretty vague. It's basically malaise, not feeling the best, low energy, maybe some nausea. It's very generalized, so you won't necessarily know that that's the cause unless you've been taking, thousands and thousands of units of it.
It almost seems like your immune system, symptoms of the immune system.
That's right.
Too, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's why I say it's
kind of confused now.
Yes, that's right. It does get confusing. So, do talk to a professional if you do decide to take any 3 of those that I talked about, because the dose is important, and you also don't want to take so little that it's not the therapeutic dose.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So those are definitely things that you can do at home, right? What do you typically do when you're feeling like you're coming down with something? What are some
sleep?
Yeah, tricks of the trade.
That's sleep. Drink water. I drink a lot of water. I sleep, and I just try to relax a bit because I know I'm been going. That's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling.
Absolutely. That's perfect. So sleep, rest, and lots of fluids.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just intuitive. Like who told you that you should do that? Was that like learned from your parents or?
No, I just knew. My body, because when I'm not feeling well, I usually feel grumpy or a little bit edgy. So I know I need to sleep, you know, and I can't concentrate. So I know it's time to get some sleep.
Yeah, very good. So that too is part of listening to your body, right? When you're recognizing the signs that, hey, I'm starting to feel a little something, and you want to do that before it becomes like full blown, right? We all love to just like push through, be like, oh, I really need to get this done. I'm just going to do this one last thing, and then next thing you know, you're so sick you can't leave your bed for like 3 days. So obviously easier said than done. Life is busy, right? But even if you can take these small things that you've learned, and let's say you start to feel like there's something not quite right, just increasing your fluid intake, going to bed a little bit earlier if you can. Those are just ways that you can, as I say, start to recognize what the signs from your body and also to help it out, even though you may not necessarily be able to check off the whole list that we talked about today, but definitely having some of those things under your belt for sure.
And I like the one about the sleep time, because between 10 to 2, because I've always worked nights before, so I was never getting a good sleep during the night, and even now I don't sleep well, you know, because sometimes my body wants to, I'm a day person, but I worked nights.
Right.
So sometimes I'm tired in the day, sometimes, you know, I'm tired at night. But that 10 to 2, I'm going to try to implement that one. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm going to try enough to get the 10 to 2. Yes. Because I do believe, as you said, your body repairs itself when you're sleeping, and you get up feeling a little bit more refreshed. So I'm going to try that 10 to 2. I'm going to implement that one.
Very good. And I think that some people that are listening to this that work nights, that they might be feeling, you know, despaired, because then they're like, well, I work nights, like this is not going to be a thing for me. So there's a ton of sleep research now, actually. So it's not, this is the be all end all and this is what you have to do. Your body can actually change its circadian rhythm so that you have different sleep patterns than everyone else. It takes a very long time, and it's tough, right? Yes. Because a lot of people, they don't just work nights, they might flip-flop back and forth days and nights. And that is the hardest thing for your body. And that's, that impacts, you know, sleep quality, that impacts your immune function, that impacts aging. So we're not meant to work overnight. You know, like the staying up late once in a while type of thing is fine. but we're just not meant to do that. But as I say, your body can adapt. Your body is very adaptable. It will do what it needs to do. It's just it's hard to get there in that respect. Anything else that you were curious about, Pastor C, about the immune system or how to make sure that you're feeling your best?
Well, I like the ideas that you suggested, how to make my, to get the optimum best for my immune system. But one of the things that I would like to find out is how long, as soon as you recognize that something is wrong with the immune system, should I be taking some sort of control of it right away? Or should I be, because as human beings, we kind of drag on. We kind of find other things to do, and we don't seem to take very good care of ourselves, especially women. We're always so busy. We have the kids, the house, that sort of thing. So as soon as I recognize that I'm not at my best, should I be stopping at that moment and take a look at my, my optimum health at that moment, that my immune system is at its best? Or should I give it a little bit of chance to, retrain itself on its own?
So I would say the ideal situation would be, yes, stop and say, hey, you know what, I need to drop everything and rest and relax. But we don't necessarily have that luxury to do that. So I would say choose some key things that you think for sure you can implement. So for example, if you know there's no way that you're going to be able to go to bed early because you just have like a project that's due or something like that, then okay, contrast showers is pretty good. You're still going to shower. So there's a good opportunity to try the contrast showers, right? Other things would be like, yeah, definitely having a look at the vitamin aspect. There are people that take, the multivitamins every day. I would just say, bear in mind that the multivitamin, the amount of each, vitamin A and B and C and all that's in there is the amount that will fit in the capsule. So it's not necessarily the therapeutic dose either. But if you're worried that you are not getting the right nutrients, some people do opt to get a multivitamin just to kind of make sure they're getting the bare minimum at very least. But as I say, the controllable factors that you have, so if you know that, sleep is not going to be part of it, then hey, great. Increase your hand washing and make sure that you're doing your contrast showers and maybe throwing in some vitamins if you can. Because time is something that most of us can't stretch for much of all. Okay, good. Now, what else did I want to talk about as far as that goes?
The other thing that I was curious about, if you keep noticing that you're always getting a cold or you're always frequently sick, should we look for other things to see if there's other issues that is pushing our immune system than just lack of sleep, lack of eat? I know you touched a bit on the inflammation.
Yes.
Yeah, so should we be going back to the doctor and kind of have a little, like a physical to see if there's any other things that are going on that is making our immune system, feel weak? Definitely,
yeah, absolutely. For sure, there's definitely blood work that you can have done. So, chatting with your MD about, your fatigue or frequent colds, and then having like a full panel done to figure out, what is going on. Maybe the iron is low, maybe there's a thyroid concern, there's definitely other aspects that are going on. The way that naturopaths tend to look at health is that we take, a symptom, so let's say it's frequent colds, and we put that in the center of our chart, and then we start drawing little lines towards other things that are connected to this. So it could be hormonal health, it could be sleep, it could be stress, it could be, just blood work needs to be done. Maybe there's some vitamins, minerals that are missing. So it really is a full person view and lens of what's going on. So yeah, absolutely, there's that as well. If you're doing this, these things as much as you can at home and troubleshooting on your own, and you're just feeling like you're not quite getting the response that you thought you would, or that you feel that you could, then absolutely further investigation is definitely a good idea. Yeah. I think there's an online question coming in.
Okay.
When should we engage with a naturopathic doctor? Okay. I mean, I'm biased. I think you should engage all the time with the naturopathic doctor. But like I say, it is important to, when I see patients in clinic, I rely heavily on what you've already done, what you've already tried, what the messages that your body has sent you already, what they've, you know, I'm tired all the time, I get sick all the time, you know, I just, you know, whatever the case may be. I rely heavily on your story and what's going on in your life. So if you've kind of troubleshooted some things on your own and you're still stuck, absolutely, that's a good time. Because as I say, looking at the full person, you know, I'm asking about what's going on in your life. You know, did you have a recent divorce? Did you just have a baby? You know, or did you just get married? Was there a death in the family? So I don't just ask about your health, I ask about your whole life, basically, in that appointment, because that allows me to understand, okay, well, what are all of the things that are impacting you? You know, because it's not just, oh, I'm tired all the time. No, it's, I'm tired all the time and I can't be present for my kids, and, you know, I can't sleep, and then I'm tired at my job, and, you know, it's all of these intricacies that come together when you know somebody's full story. So definitely, if you are ready to talk to a naturopath, have all of your list of what's going on in your life and bring it together and say, hey, like, this is what's going on, you know. I have some people that come with a whole like page of questions, which is amazing, because you do really want to know all of the factors that are influencing health. Yeah. So I need to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes here, but I just want to say, everything that we talked about today, you can try at home, right? Even if you're a night hawk and you really love staying up until 1 a.m., start dialing it back. You know, maybe tonight you try 12:45, and that you try that for a week, and next week you try 12:30, until you get to that optimal, right? Hand washing, we all know that for sure now. Contrast showers, look up the video on my YouTube channel. It might be something you want to try. And if you do try it, send me a comment on the video, because I'd love to hear how it went. Being on top of, you know, the messages that your body is sending and everything like that. And also, you know, the hydration, making sure that you're eating well, moving your body in the way that you can is huge as well. And I really can't emphasize enough listening to the messages of your body. So as soon as you start noticing, I'm feeling grumpy, or I'm feeling tired, or, you know, I just don't have the energy, definitely listening to those messages and heeding to them as best as you can within the constraints of the life that you have, right? Anywho, thank you so much for joining me, Pastor C, and everyone that's chimed in and come in on Zoom or on Instagram as well. I was on Zoom all day today. And we hope to see you next month talking about seniors fitness.
Wow.
Yeah.